Neil, the transfer window has closed. It was a quiet transfer window, certainly in terms of ins, only Jamal Lowe coming in. A couple of players going out either on loan or leaving the club permanently. How would you assess the January transfer window?
I think any manager or head coach will say that they always want more and better players. Jamal coming in early in the window was, give everyone a big lift. He's contributed massively since he's been here, both on and off the pitch. So I was really pleased with that addition. We tried for one or two more. It wasn't to be. That can happen. It can be a little bit frustrating sometimes. And then some of the players who have gone out, I think that's the right thing for them and the club. They need to go and play regular football, whether that's on loan or permanently. And that can breed a bit more competition within the building, where players feel like they've got a genuine opportunity to play. And you have one eye on the now, but also on the long term and the future. And it also gives a chance for some of the younger players to hopefully push up and get an opportunity to firstly train with the first team and then see where their journey goes from there. So, relatively pleased. I'd always want more, but I think any coach would say the same thing.
It's been almost a week since the disappointment of the result at Hull. How long does it take you to get over a result, a performance like that?
The next day is not very pleasant, that's for certain. But I reflect on the game, I gather my thoughts. You try and then speak to people around you, and then you re-energise. That's where I get my sort of energy from, my strength from. And then when we come back in on a Monday, it's important that we reflect on it, talk about it, and then how we action that. Actions speak louder than words, and we've had a positive response this week in training. The reaction from the players has been really good. So we hopefully that will continue. We can take that into another difficult game at Huddersfield this weekend.
While emotions are running high, you're forced to do your post-match media within 20 minutes of the final whistle going. You used some very strong words in terms of the group of players. You said it wasn't about technique, it wasn't about tactics, and you suggested it was about mentality. What's been the reaction from the players this week to that?
Yeah, no, it's been really positive, to be honest with you. There's nothing I don't say in the dressing room that I don't speak to the media about. There won't be a gap between what I say in the dressing room and what I say to the media. I just speak open and honestly of how I feel, and players and supporters, and they're not stupid. I think they've seen everything that we saw as well, and the players knew that. So it's up to us to accept responsibility for our performances. And last week wasn't at the required level. So we have an opportunity this weekend to get back on the horse, so to speak, quickly, and put in a much better performance. And hopefully, I concentrate on the process and the performances, and because over a long term, that's what gives you results. You might play badly and win, or you might win and play badly. You're looking for consistency, and we've not had that.
The nucleus of this squad was together under the two previous managers and experienced a drop in form, a run of poor results that seemed difficult to shake off. With that in mind, do you approach things differently in terms of trying to shake that off and change that mentality?
Yeah, from afar, you obviously, I've seen it from afar last season. It was evident before I came in with the run of results that were on. I felt there were signs of progress before the whole game last week. So it's important that I'm not too reactive after one performance. I have to look beyond that. But it has been there for a period of time, and therefore that suggests that there's something wrong. It's up to me and my staff to find out what's wrong, and then you gather information, you use your eyes and your ears, and then you formulate a plan of how you're gonna change that. And it's up to us. We have to accept responsibility, players, staff, and we have to change that. And I say it was nothing to do with tactics or technical ability last week. We controlled a lot of the game against a team that's one of the best in the division for keeping possession under their new manager. But in the moments where we needed to be more competitive, keep the ball out of the net, defend better, we didn't do that, and we didn't do enough at the other end of the pitch, which has been a common theme for a while. So I say before last weekend, I think we showed signs of progress at both ends of the pitch, but still not to the required level that we're going to need consistently in this division to pick up the results where we want to be at the end of the season.
Huddersfield have won 2 of their last 9 games. They're 3 points adrift of safety. But at home, and looking at QPR's form, do you think they will look at this as an opportunity to get themselves going? And in that, it provides a sterner test because perhaps they will come at you more and they'll have greater confidence.
Yeah, possibly. If I was in their camp and I was their manager, I'd be saying, yeah, QPR are in a great run of form. It's a chance for us to win at home. Of course I would be. That's football, We have our plan, they have our plan. You then get the players on the pitch, and it's a random game. It's 11v11. There's so many thousands of decisions by lots of players. You got the referee, the linesman, and sometimes anything can happen. We try to reduce that sort of randomness through your plan and your preparation, but sometimes moments happen in games that you can't account for. And we have to be better at dealing with those moments as a collective. Everyone's responsible for everything that happens on the pitch. It's the team that's important, and we've got to make sure, as a team, we're functioning better than what we're doing at the moment.
What gives you confidence about this group?
I think there's room for improvement. I see a good group of players who genuinely care and want to improve. They're in a bit of a... I've only been here obviously for about 7 league games, I think it is, 8 games. This run was before me as well. So the psychological impact on the players is slightly longer than what I've been here. So they're probably feeling it a bit more than what I am. So it's you use your feeling, your intuition, your experience to help the group that's in front of you. What do they need? What's right for them? How can I help them? And when you see the quality within the squad, that gives you room for optimism, and you see players who want to learn and improve. And if that's the case, I always think there's a chance. So I genuinely believe this group of players have got it in them to win games of football in this division. But we're not dealing in fantasy world here either. We understand it's the reality of where we're at, but I like to call it positive reality, and I think that's what we need to look on at this moment in time.
In terms of team news, it's well documented that Lyndon Dykes has been in hospital. It's more a question about Lyndon the person than Lyndon the footballer. How is he?
Yeah, that's very true. At this moment in time, it's things go beyond football, and Lyndon's health is more important than football at this moment in time. Went to see him in the week. Been in constant contact with him, the staff here and the doctor, etc. And yeah, when anyone's in hospital, it's a worrying time for himself and his family. So he's better. He's responding to the treatment. Hopefully, he'll be discharged from hospital possibly today. And I'm sure myself, the staff, the players, all the QPR supporters, we send him all our best wishes, and our thoughts are with him. And
on the injury news front, Ethan Laird, Kenneth Powell, Ilias Chair was struggling. What can you tell us about them?
No, Ilias has trained fine. He's been fine all week, no problem. We're hopeful that Kenneth will train today. If he does, then he'll be in contention for the squad. Ethan, the same as Kenneth. Hopefully he'll train today, and if he does, he'll be in contention as well. So that's positive news. So yeah, one of the reasons for letting some of the players go is to create that competitive squad within, and it's important now that those players we pull together. 17 games to go, and this next run of games is really important if we want to make it interesting come the end of the season. And just finally, more than 700 Ars fans are making the trip back up to Yorkshire. What's your message for them? I mean, it's not so much a message. It's up to us to, show them that last week wasn't good enough and we're hurting. So, appreciate the numbers that were there. It wasn't a nice day. Hopefully we can make it a better day for them tomorrow. It's such a great feeling when you see, so many supporters travelling in numbers and getting behind the team, and they did that, and we give them nothing to shout about last Saturday. So it's up to us to give them something to shout about and be positive about, and that starts from within, and that's our responsibility.